Hello everybody. Wonderful to be here again at Alon's project. I think it's the first ever English lecture here in his project. So I'm very honored to have that one here. Today I'm going to talk with you about something which is about passion and how we can earn a living out of it. I'm very happy to see familiar faces here from previous talks that I gave. Some I've met in person, some I've only met virtually, but very glad to see you all here. If you can, turning on your cameras so I can see you. I always say that I don't want to bore people. So if I see people yawning, I know that something doesn't work. So that will be great. Let me share my screen and we'll start right away. That's not what I want. This one. Set it up and we can start. So I want to mention that I'm giving this talk and other talks into other organizations. So if you are, if you wish that I'll bring this talk and any other of my talks into your organization, please get in touch with me afterwards. And today we're going to talk about how to turn your passion into an income stream, something that we all strive for. We want to know how it works. I'm going to give some overview of the things and the opportunities that we have today when we are working remotely, especially for that, and maybe some things that you haven't thought about. A little bit about myself. Very nice to meet you. My name is Shlomo. I'm an entrepreneur for many, many years. I'm a financial coach. I'm doing this through personal training and workshops and an online course I just started. I also do niche website investing. You'll see that towards the end of the lecture, because that's one of the opportunities I'm talking about. You see all these things here. I built a company in China. I speak to many people and such as these kind of talks. And also actually just 2 weeks ago, gave on stage in Bulgaria in a digital nomad conference. So that was quite nice after COVID, coming back live on stage. I wrote a book that won a world record, and I host a podcast. I have all these achievements. As I said, I do financial coaching. I help people organize their finances to reach financial freedom faster. But really, these are all professional achievements. And I want to show you the things that are really important in life, things that are for me really important, and I'm sure to you too. And these are the personal things that you see here. I want to have a very long trip with my family on a bicycle from North to South America. That needs to take about 2.5 years of my life and their life. I hope they will be willing to join. We are a location independent family. I really feel that we are able to get along anywhere. Me personally, and also all of us as a family, we travel 2 to 3 months on any of our trips. Sometimes it's twice a year, sometimes it's once a year. And we really like this lifestyle. I visited 36 countries. And one of my dreams is speak at TED. So that's lectures platform. So if you know how to get there, please let me know. But what's important for me to tell you is that these are the things that are really important in life, the things that we strive for, the things that we want to have for ourselves. It's not only about professional life and work. And while I want to see who turned on the cameras and who's here, hello, whoever joined, thank you very much. So we have some more people here. Okay, one last disclaimer and we'll start. And this is, I'm talking things related to money here, but I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a financial coach. Therefore, you need to take things as this is information I'm sharing from my knowledge. Of course, you're welcome to ask questions, but still responsibility is on you. And of course, that I'm all into taking responsibility over your lives and understand exactly what you're doing. That's my approach. Okay, so first of all, before we continue, tell me why you're here. You've seen this turn your passion into an income stream. There was some trigger in your life that made you say, I want to be in that talk. So if you can share some about that, that will be great. Please share that in the chat and let me know. Why are you here? Where are you in life that made you say, okay, I want to come to this talk. I'll move the chat over here so you can see better. Let's move this window here. Okay, tell me in the chat, why are you here in this talk? What was interesting for you? I'm so glad to see new faces, new names here, knowing that there is an audience for also English speaking here, English speakers. Okay, so while you write in the chat, please tell me why you're here in this talk. You heard passion, you heard making money from it. What's interesting for you? Let's see. Okay, while I'm waiting for your responses, okay, Sabina is saying, I have many passions, but don't know how to monetize. Okay, Alon is saying to learn English. Okay, Alon is here for the training. Alon, I hope that you will improve your English after this talk. Let me know if that worked afterwards. Okay, let's talk about someone pretty famous, Confucius. 5th century BC. Choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. This is what he said many, many years ago. It's actually his students who said it. They wrote all his sayings. And I was looking at the fun things that people did in Confucius' times that they really loved to do. Have a look. Looks like fun, huh? You can be a builder, you can be a farmer, you can fix vehicles, you can do all these things, right? That looks like fun. That's the work that you love. All of these people just seem like they really love what they do. I'm, of course, cynical. Yes, it is boring. So the thing is that in Confucius times, having a job that you love was only for aristocracy. It was not for the regular people. But fortunately, at our times, that's not the case. We can have a job or work that we love and we don't have to be aristocracy. It's not just high-end people. In Confucius times, you could be a poet only if you're rich, okay? That's the bottom line. You can write poets, you can write stories, you can do all these things, you can be a philosopher. All the rest did what you see here in this slide. Okay. Exactly, Shelley's saying, or they have to survive. They all had to survive, okay? That's the way to survive. You just do whatever you can. And you're not really thinking about having fun or enjoying what you love or enjoying that work. Although maybe sometimes they did have it. I don't know. Never spoke with any of those. So let's look again at what he said. Choose a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. What is the feeling that you have when you're doing something that you love? And I want you to share that again on the chat. What are the things that comes to your mind? While you do that, I'm going to go over, see, please turn on your cameras if you can. We're not too many people here. It will be nice to see your faces. See, and let me see if there are more remarks here. So write in the chat, what happens? What do you feel within yourself when you are doing work that you really love? So while you write that, here are some things that I came up with, and I want to hear more from you. So Sabina is saying satisfaction. Yeah, definitely. That's a big one. When you do something that you love, you get satisfaction. The time goes fast. Excellent, Alon. You're right. You probably heard of the being in a flow. That's part of what people are talking about when they don't really feel that time goes by. That's exactly that feeling. So here are the things I came up with. So you do not feel that time passes. That's exactly what Alon said. Khali is saying fulfillment. Yes, that's also part of satisfaction, I guess, maybe another angle of that. great satisfaction. And the last bullet point, high salary or earnings. And I'm putting this with a question mark. Some people would say that they love their work because of the money that they make. And I don't judge them. That's okay. If you may be doing it for maybe a short amount of time, or just you say, I'm going to do it for 2 years and that's it. And you're saying that's worth for me and therefore I love my job. That's okay. But again, I'm putting this as a question mark because you don't really love the job. You love the outcome of that job. Okay? You love the salary or the earnings from that job. So the problem with the jobs that we like, and I hear this a lot, is that there is no money in them. You cannot live on it. Okay? So I came up with a rocket science plan for you of what you need to do to find the job that you like and make money out of it. 2 steps. Look, grand plan. Think of something that you really like to do. Find out how to get involved and make money from it. Right? You really needed to come to my talk in order to hear me giving you this 2-step plan that will solve your problems forever. So with this plan, I want you to tell me again in the chat, or, we're not too many people here. If you want to unmute yourselves and speak even better, give me things or tell me things that you really enjoy doing, something that you love to do, maybe also would like to make money from it and live off of it. So go ahead. Give me some examples here in the chat. So iPad 3, I don't have your name. Novelist, writing. Okay, great example. Who else? I have some new people joining. Welcome. Novelist, what else? Empowerment, empowering communities. Okay, wonderful. Art, amazing. Great examples. What else do you have in mind? For people who just joined, we're talking about things that you really love to do. So go ahead and write that in the chat. What are those things? Okay, the reason that I'm asking about all these things that you love to do in my grand plan is because really today, speak on stages, Sabina says. Good one. Okay. The reason that I'm saying all this is that you can really make money today from almost anything you love to do nowadays. And I'm saying this because the world is really open for you at the tip of your fingers, just like I'm sitting here giving you this talk. You can work from anywhere. There's a whole separate talk about digital nomads, of how to manage and do this lifestyle. But regardless, really, there are a lot of opportunities out there that you can find and be part of. And I'm going to give examples. It doesn't matter who you work for. It doesn't matter where they are. The world is really at the tip of your fingers. So let's give some examples that you'll see here. And maybe that will give a few ideas. And then maybe we'll do a mini coaching session for somebody who is willing to volunteer. So some examples that you can do today, right now, right after this talk. Start teaching online. There are platforms to do that. I'm going to show you these. Writing content. Somebody mentioned being a novelist and writing. Definitely something that you can do right now. Build your own product or service. I'm going to give you examples of how to do that. You can maintain a site at the topic that you love, okay, your favorite topic, and make money off it. Or you can even buy one if you don't want to start from scratch and then maybe improve it, and maybe that will be your thing. And you can also be an employee. You can be an employee, remote work, something that you love. But the reason that I'm saying that you can still find something that you love because you're not limited to only your geographic location. There are endless, and again, I'm going to give examples of remote jobs out there that you can find according to what you love. Again, there are much more opportunities when you are working remotely. So at Confucius times, we really had to be aristocracy to do something that we love. So anyone here who has something that they love, and you gave some examples here, want to maybe unmute themselves and kind of say a little bit more about this, and I'll try to help and give some direction of something that they can do. There is not 100% success, but many, many things that are really even offline, you can make them online and find an angle for you to do that remotely. So let's go ahead. You can either unmute yourself or just write on chat, and then I'll unmute you, whatever you want. Please go ahead. Anyone? And if you want, we won't have volunteer, I'm going to give an example. Okay, iPad 3, are you able to unmute? I'll just ask you to unmute.
Yes.
What's your name, please?
Stephen.
Hi, Stephen. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Oh, yes. So I have written and published one novel, and I found that it's difficult to, get it in front of people's eyes, the marketing and getting into contests, trying any which way I can to get it in front of an audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I have other manuscripts that I have written, but I'm kind of hesitant to pursue those because I feel like I'll just have the same, small results that I had with the first one.
Okay. And this is something that is really your passion and you like doing and you want to make a living out of it.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So it happens to be that just 2 or 3 weeks ago at that digital nomad conference I spoke about, I met somebody who has hundreds of books, but he writing them in kind of a different style. It's not the same as you, and sells them on Amazon KDP. That's not going to be the perfect fit for you. However, I do have an idea for you of something called Build in Public that you can start in order to start kind of the marketing process towards your book and what you like. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about it a little bit further down. Okay. Don't worry, in a few slides. But I think that will be a good way for you to attract the right audience to your books. And so when you launch, you already have the mailing list, you already have people there, and basically you're just selling to already your followers. So the marketing comes way before you even have the product. If you already have the product, maybe it's a little easier, but it's really unnecessary. That's what I'm saying. And I'm going to give an example. Okay.
Okay.
So hold on, a few more slides. Let me see with the time if we still have some time. Okay, I'm going to continue on with my examples. And if we'll have time at the end, we're going to take more volunteers. I'm happy to help anyone who's here. Okay. And Steve, if afterwards my examples are not good enough, please challenge me. We'll talk.
Okay.
So I'm going to give examples for each of those bullet points coming up. So first of all, teaching. You can teach children or adults on different platforms on the internet. The first one that you see up here is called OutSchool. This is for kids. You can see here in the text, if you know how to teach math, you can open a profile there and teach math. You can teach really anything. I had my daughter here had some Spanish classes, and she also had a class about, if I remember correctly, dinosaurs, which she really enjoyed. Just because people offer that there, the platform handles everything they need to do in terms of payment and scheduling, and you basically show up. The things that you need to check, of course, is what is not the competition, but what is the market. So you see if there are other teachers on what you want to teach, same age groups, what are the pricing that they're taking. And the right approach to go is first taking a lower price, getting some reviews, and then slowly go up the scale with that. So OutSchool is one example if you want to teach kids. Another example is what you see here, Skillshare. That's for adults. You can see here the sidebar. small for me to see, but really anything, photography, graphic design, coding. There's just some things I remember from here that you can teach people something that you love, something that you enjoy, and you can basically do that. The audience is already there. So this is the example about teaching. Another example that we can all do, not tomorrow, but right after we talk, is teaching language. We all speak a language, English, Hebrew, any other language. If you speak a second or a third language, for sure. These kind of platforms like italki.com, and there's one Preply, and there are several others. You can go and open a profile, be a teacher, and teach basically your language. Now you'd say, oh, I'm not a certified teacher. It doesn't matter, because on this platform, some people are just looking to speak with somebody and train themselves. They're not looking for a professional teacher. And since you know how to speak English or any other, or your native language, there's no reason you won't be able to interact with another person on that language. And yes, you can make money out of it. You might not be the wealthiest man on earth, but that can be a nice side income. And there's different languages with different prices, let's say. So as example, Spanish is I'm going to say the word cheap language, because many undeveloped countries are Spanish, therefore there are cheaper teachers there. However, languages like Hebrew, where most of the people speaking it is in Israel, and Israel is an expensive place, this costs more, and you can also earn more. So you need to look at every teacher's profile. You can see how much they're taking for their classes, how many classes they had the last 3 months. You can calculate roughly how much they're making and how much you can make. And again, you go up the scale there with your pricing. So that's the example for teaching. Another example, I forgot I brought a profile here. So you see the profiles in italki. You see here, last 3 months, November, December, January. So this teacher had in January 160 lessons, and she is taking, how much is it? 12, or I can't see again. It's, let's say Ellie, it's $25 an hour. So you can calculate roughly how much he makes from these hours. Okay, and you can see that for each teacher. So you can do that yourself just by going to italki. Another example, and this is for writing content, or basically being a freelancer for anything that you like to do. And this is through a platform called Upwork. I invest in niche websites, and I need content writers in different topics. And this is where I find my content writers. You can be a specialist content writer or a generalist content writer, which earn less, but you can list yourself as a content writer and just write and make a living off it. Except of content writing, this platform has everything that you can think of to work remotely. It can be marketing, it can be coding, it can be graphic design, probably also teaching through here somehow. I just haven't seen it. Really, endless opportunities on this platform. Specifically, I'm mentioning Upwork.com for content writing, but again, not only, definitely not only. Okay, Steve, this is for you. Next example. And this is Build in Public. Build in Public is, I'd even say, a movement. And this is about starting a process of sharing your content about your product or about your vision, even before that you have a product or a novel, in your case, Steve. Because what happens is that you are able then to explore new ideas, because you are attracting the right people into your circle. You build a community around it, around the product or the service, and you build the branding. Now look at these examples I brought here. You see here, Raza Kabiri is mentioning that on month 4 and 5 of his company, spynewsletter.com, he made a total of 5,800, and on average, he making 1,800 a month. He's not afraid to share his business metrics. He's even saying that next month he's aiming at 3,000. Okay, It's not about, it's about being authentic and about being open of where you are and attracting the right people that want to connect with you. Look at the other example. Look at this Nebulam farm, I guess. They are really happy that they have a new subscriber for their vegetable boxes. Okay, just by sharing this, that will make people that are greener, that like the vibe, to follow them. Then maybe they will be customers. Now you can do it way before you have the product. And of course, goes without saying also while you are working. Steve, think about keep engaging with your readers and then telling them about the next book and about the next book and about the next book. And they can have discussions about this and can have reading groups. Sky's the limit with this one. What he did for the money. Who are you asking about? What he did for the money? He is spynewsletter.com. I don't know what they do. I'm trying to read here. I don't know what this guy does on spynewsletter.com. If you go to Twitter and you search for the hashtag, you see it here, build in public or building in public, you'll find endless and endless of people who are doing exactly this, sharing what they do about their project, about their startup, about their business. You'll learn a lot. Here's my building public. Okay, what you see here, I have an online course called How to Achieve the Perfect Life Finance Balance for Remote Workers. It started at $3 a month and was built in public, and I released a video every time. And every time I released a video, I shared that. And that really cost a minimum amount of money just to get the audience around what I'm doing. Two other examples is kind of my flags project. It's now on hold because I just don't have time for this. But what I wanted to create, or what I still want to create, is that helping people to travel in a more financial responsible way and also have something fun for the kids. So on the right side, you see the flag of France. You put a budget of, let's say, $1,000, and there are 10 sections on the flag. And every time that you get a 10th of the budget to go to France, you color one line. You put this on your fridge, and when you get to that budget, ta-da, you got the budget to go to Paris. The other one is for a countdown for kids, 30 days before the trip. This one is for Greece, for getting the anticipation up, getting the conversations on the trip. So this is how you create that conversation and fun thing for your family towards your traveling. I like finance and I like traveling. That was a wonderful way to combine. The way that I did build in public is basically talking about, oh, I made this flag, I made this flag. This flag today is for the Independence Day of this and this country, all kinds of things. Let's see. Spy Newsletter informs its subscribers about the competitor in their respective industry. This includes information about competitors' content, revenue, social media status, and the like. Apparently, you can make money out of it. What's his name? Raza. Good luck, Raza. I don't know how much he makes now. That screenshot is from quite a while ago. Another example, and this one is investing in other digital sites or assets. It can be apps. This example here is a marketplace for websites, content websites. I personally bought one of my websites with that. These are websites already making money. You can find one which is at the topic that you like. Look here, you got the topics here. You like beauty, you have this one website that is making $1,700, almost $1,800 a month. You need to maintain those. It's semi-passive, let's say this, but it can be, let's say, relative few hours a week on this. And you can see the price ranges from 18,000 here goes to, I can see probably 58,000, but it can really get up to 10 million. Okay, there is really a whole range, but you can find a website in many of these marketplaces. There are 3 examples here: Empire Flippers, Flippa, and Motion Invest. Something that you love, buy that and maintain that for your passion, something that you love to do. There's also jewelry, apparel, home improvement, you name it. Hundreds and hundreds of, let's say even thousands of websites in all those platforms. I know at least 10 of those. Is a better screenshot of the same marketplace of Empire Flippers. You see here, Personal care, Amazon FBA, $53,000, $21,000 to almost 22, making $708 a month. In the home niche, I don't know exactly what that is. You need to go into the listing and see here hobbies. Hobbies are good ones because these are passionate people about a certain topic. It can be the topic that you also like and you want to run a website on that. Go for it. You found a passion and you make a living out of it. There are a few more examples. I need to go a little quicker with Motion Invest. You see here, sootheyourfeet.com. Is massage your thing? Go ahead. Mowing the grass. That's over here. You see that one. This example is from Flippa. Here's a really good example, something that I really liked. I even tried to buy that business, but unfortunately I couldn't. And this one from another platform called MicroAcquire. This guy is selling tree planting subscriptions for people who fly a lot and want to overset the pollution that they make by flying. So he had different packages of people who fly a lot or fly a little. And then he has partners around the world where he sends part of the money of the subscription that he gets to plant trees to offset those pollution. I thought it's a wonderful business idea and I really, really liked it. But this is something he was passionate about and built it. I think it's great. And the last one, as I mentioned, is work for a company remotely. Find something that you love. Here are two examples. One is remote.io. That's the top one. The other one is remoteok.com. You can really find anything here. There are endless opportunities. There are even platforms for specific job opportunities. Let's say just developers, not the general one. Okay, and you have different categories here. You see the categories here, and you can filter. You can really find something that you love. They're all remote. Okay, you are not limited to the geographical space around you, basically. Okay, so we're towards the end, and we have 5 more minutes. So first of all, I'm going to give you one gift, and this is a career coaching session. Basically, a mini coaching, just like I did with Steve, though I had just 2 minutes for this. It's really too short. Sometimes when I have longer time, we even get 5-10 minutes for one person. So I hope maybe Alon will let me do just that in one of the sessions. Anyway, this is a special offer. Then you need to go to bit.li/passion into income. And then you have a coupon called Power to Fly. And you can use that. That's an affordable price. It's about a third of what I'm usually charging. And this is all the ways to get in touch with me. That's on freefinancialself.com. That's my business. On my email, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter. Oh, on Twitter, this one is not correct. That should be freund.shlomo.com. Change that. Ad hoc. LinkedIn is my name. Facebook is either Free Financial Self and Shlomo Freund. And this is again the coaching session I just gave you. Now I have 4 more minutes, or until Alon will kick me out, to answering questions. So please go ahead in the chat. I'm happy to answer, or we have another volunteer, whatever you want. Please go ahead on any of the things I mentioned. Oh, very important. Steve, does that help? I'm really interested to know. Okay, until Steve unmutes. Anyone else want to ask a question? Gave lots of great ideas. I'm really happy to hear that. Wonderful. Anyone else want to come and ask questions, either on chat or live? We're good with that. Any of those? You're welcome, Sabina. I'm very happy. So it's the first time that we're giving an English talk. I hope that was a good one for you. You can still ask questions. Would love to know if you're going to join another talk. And also, my best ideas for giving talks is by asking people what they want me to bring them. So please write here in the chat, what topics would you like me to talk about? Yes, Steve, please unmute yourself and ask. I see here that Steve has a question. has to unmute. There you go.
Yes, I do have a question. So I don't know if you ever heard of a website called Fiverr.
Yes.
So it's kind of, for those that don't know, it's similar to one of the other ones that you mentioned. I think it was called Upwork.
Yes, yeah, it's a little different style, but yes, it's freelancers as well. You're right.
Right. And so I had the idea of creating a profile to kind of help people with writing essays, personal statements, stuff like that. And one of the issues that I've run into is that there's so much like competition. And I was wondering what advice you have to kind of like how to go about navigating that, because why would someone go to me, right? There's so many other people that offer the same service that have, so.
You're right. So it is a challenge. And my best advice for you again is basically building the audience before and going do this build in public. Go to Twitter and search for that hashtag, building in public or build in public. Find someone that does what you want to do, okay? And see how they do it to generate and get their audience. I'm sure that there are copywriters out there who don't want to compete in that saturated market and kind of define their audience. Maybe you can be, and again, I don't know exactly the audience that you want to work with. Maybe you want to be a copywriter just for restaurants, as example, okay? So maybe it will be for you just talking about restaurants or any of around those things and attract those people in there. But you need to do the research for that. We can talk later if you need my help on this, but basically that's the direction I would go with.
Thank you.
Sure. Sabina is saying, want to set up my art for sale and doing it efficient way without getting homeless. I feel that there are some ways to do that, Sabina. We probably need to write about your art. Maybe there are interesting things. Listen, I'm sure, so I'm seeing people sharing a lot about software with this building in public, but I'm sure there's also about jewelry. Maybe not on Twitter. I'm not sure because I haven't researched, but maybe on other platforms, probably on Instagram, which is more visual and maybe more right for this kind of audience. I don't know, but this might spark a few ideas. And then from there, take it on. We spoke a lot during the conference, but I don't know your art, but I'd love to help if I can. Okay, if you're suck at writing, I also suck at writing, by the way. Now it's recorded. You do that with videos and graphics and share the things that you love. What are the things that you really love to do and share about, even if it's not about writing? Show pictures of your art. Show pictures of how you started it. Show pictures of what sparked the idea to generate those. These are the important things. This is what will attract people. I'm not saying all these things are magic pills, to get it this way. It's not easy. It's really not easy. But that's a way to differentiate yourself and really build your audience around your passion and what you love. And if you also want to make just a living, I think that the easiest way to do this with jewelry is maybe write about jewelry or maybe record videos about this. And this you can do by approaching other jewelry blogs maybe, or e-commerce stores. We're looking for people like you, basically. And maybe this will be the right thing for you to start with your jewelry business, just getting into the business through another angle. Okay, Steve, I'd love to collaborate. Talk to me later. You can send me a message. Thank you so much for the good words. Thank you, Ofra. Thank you, Sabina. Thank you very much. Any last questions? And last question. Okay, thank you very much for joining. It's been a pleasure. First talk in English, very, 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 very exciting. And please join next time. Thank you.